What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 24th day of July, and here we are at $3.21. At the low that we had yesterday on the 23rd, we went as low as $3.05, and man, what a massive discount that is. 10% drop in a day. XRP, you got so lucky. I cannot believe. Look at what you've done. You just gave a glorious opportunity to anybody and everybody who's wanted to buy XRP around $3 again, right? Anybody who's got a little bit of cash on the side. It's almost Friday. It's about to be payday, you guys. It's that second to last Friday of the month. I'm pretty sure, or maybe it is the last Friday of the month. Do people get paid? A lot of people, I think, get paid on this Friday. So what's probably going to happen is today we're going to move up. And then people will FOMO in on Friday because of the move up, and then we'll probably move back down over the weekend. I don't know. I'm just thinking semi-logically here. But ultimately, this is a great opportunity, man. It's an absolutely great opportunity. Your RSI has cooled off. You are out of the overbought zone, right? Look at it this way. Okay, here's your RSI right here. When you were last at this level, you were all the way down here, right? When you were last at this level in the RSI, you made a move that was all the way up like this. What if you do that again? What happens when you do that again? You're all the way up at $5.14 in a course in a matter of, I mean, how long would that be? That would be within the first week of August. The first 3 days of August, you're up at $5.14. That's what this dip brought you, and likely you'll actually be up at higher prices. I wouldn't be surprised if by the time you move up, the next move is even more robust than the first move. This is not the end of the cycle for XRP. This is not where your story ends. It has only just begun. Do I need to remind you? Let's get into this, right? In case anybody panic sold, let's painfully remind you what this thing is doing, right? You've just broken out. First off, you've just broken out of this range, right? You're in your 1, 2, 3rd week now. It's not even, we got 3 days, 23 hours left, over half a week left in this week. You're in your 3rd week. It's been 2.5 weeks that you've broken out from a over half a year long consolidation phase. You're just starting. The move is not over. You've just seen new all-time highs from a range that you've been bound to for multiple cycles, and you're not even a full 3 weeks into it. You're just getting started. You are not done. If you panic sold, you messed up. You messed up bad. And the price, it went as low as $3.05 on average, right? Depending on each exchange, everything's a little bit different, maybe by a cent or 2 or 3. Unfortunately, that means somebody sold there, right? The price doesn't get to where it goes unless somebody actually sells, right? So there are people that panic sold. Unfortunately, it happens. But, you know, you live and you learn, or you don't and you die, as I like to say. And if you did panic sell, the only words of advice that I would have for any of you would be to get the hell back in right now. What were you thinking? It's okay. Emotions get the best of us. They really do. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do what you want. It's your money. Use it, lose it, make it as you want to. I just want you guys to make money, okay? Don't come at me if you're losing money on my non-financial advice. It's not advice. It's just my opinions, right? And I'm not going to come to you whenever you make money, right? It's like that's just how it is, right? There's no agreement here other than we're just watching this and doing this for entertainment, right? But looking at the weekly time frame here, the goal in mind for XRP right now would be that you need to get above. I wouldn't say that this week needs to close green, but your RSI needs to get back into the overbought zone. You do not want an in and out scenario, right? Those bring months of consolidation. You don't want that. On a weekly time frame, you don't want that, okay? Daily time frame, it's not as big of a deal. Still somewhat big of a deal, but not as big of a deal. A week or two worth of consolidation, even days worth of consolidation, but weekly, not a good look. So you don't need to close it green, but I would think, you know, being here, you're at 320 right now. I would think you would at least need to close it above 335. So move up 15 cents between now and the next 3 days, 22.5 hours, okay? Do that. Do that and you're fine. Get this RSI back into the overbought zone, okay? It's okay if it's like this, if it's up here like this and then it bounces off the overbought zone there. It's okay if it does something like that. You don't want this, though. Just because even if you do close out of the overbought zone, that doesn't mean that you'll consolidate for months, but it hints at that. You want to avoid that hint. You want to avoid that suggestion. You're in breakout territory, so break out. Don't stop, right? Don't stop. Intra week, it's okay to be down here. End of week, no. Higher, please, much higher. Let's look at the short-term stuff, and then we will We'll come back out to this long-term stuff. Okay, 1 hour time frame. Oh yeah. Yeah, buddy. You're gonna rip. You're gonna rip so friggin' hard. You see your 1 hour RSI? Do you see it? You've got a massive downtrend. Lower lows. Whoop, that was not the angle I was going for. Lower lows, lower highs, right? Lower lows and lower highs. You're forming bullish divergence. You got higher lows here, higher lows. You're going to form bullish divergence. You're going to break out of this downtrend. Downtrends typically end in the oversold zone with bullish divergence. Typically, not always, but typically. We have that here. They turn into sideways trends, and then they turn into upwards trends, right? That's just, you see how it was sideways at first, and then over time it turns into an upwards trend. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens, right? Let me show it a different way. Uptrend ended up here with bearish divergence. You moved uptrend into a sideways trend, and then you turned your sideways trend into a downwards trend. Yes? Yes. Okay. Now that we're on the same page, sideways here would likely imply lower prices. Lower prices than where you are now. That doesn't mean you go below this low, but man, I think it would be perfect if you went below that low. If you went below $3, can you imagine the amount of people that would panic sell? Oh no, we broke $3. That means XRP's dead. We were just below, you guys, 290 a week ago was desirable. Why are we afraid of it now? Who cares? Yes, I did not believe that XRP would go below $3.35 or $3.15. I forget what the low was that I gave it. Here we are. Big deal. Go lower. Go below $3. Scare people, right? That's good. Shake out the weak hands. Let the strong hands load up the truck, and that's exactly what will happen, right? There are institutions, people with phenomenal wealth, who are acquiring this thing at every chance they get. And you best believe they're not buying the highs. They are buying right here. Absolutely they are. They're probably buying all of it, really. And when I say all of it, I mean that in the sense of all of these areas and all the XRP physically circulating in the ether. They're buying it all. And you're going to sell it to them? Come on now. You're better than that. You are so much better than that. Higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price, yes, you probably come down a little bit. You do have bullish divergence. You have one drive here, right, with higher lows there and lower lows there. But you can have double bullish divergence. Maybe you get another lower low. It could be a double bottom, but I would expect at least that you get one 1 hour time frame, if not multiple, that close below $3.13. So you probably come down a little bit. Come down a little bit, form some more bullish divergence. By the end of today, the 24th of July, you should be moving up higher. Going into tomorrow, Friday, you should be moving up higher, right? Because again, Friday's the day where a lot of people, I think, get paid. They're like, oh, I just get, if the price can stay down here, I'll buy. So it's probably going to go up. The big dogs know that. And then on Friday, it'll be up here. People will buy because they're like, damn it, I missed my chance, but I'm going to FOMO now. It'll come back down. It'll let me draw this again. It'll come back down after they buy, after their paychecks hit, and then it'll rip afterwards. It'll test you. You'll buy emotionally. Will you sell emotionally? If not, good, right? And you'll form a higher low. That's all it is, right? Or XRP could do this thing that it does, which is just, right through the freaking roof. I don't know. Time will tell. Inevitably, that's coming. Inevitably, higher prices are coming. But for now, for the beginning of this day, lower. Do we go below $3? Maybe. And if we do, it's okay. It's not a problem. And in fact, let's just see if we can make sense out of that real quick. Here you found support right there. Prior resistance there. Prior kind of consolidation phase there. Keep on zooming out. I would think you go lower. I would think that you go lower, but you could find support right there. Maybe you go right there, $3 exactly. Psychological support at $3, right? I'm rubbing the crystal forehead. That was the best insult that I've ever had, man. That one stuck with me. So whoever came up with that was very clever. It is very shiny, isn't it? It's just depending on the day, I guess. We could go a little bit lower, $2.97, and maybe even lower than that. If we take a low to high here, low to high right here. Come on now. 1886. Yeah, go to the 2272. That's at 299. Oftentimes with the 2272, this fib extension here, you do wick just below it. And right there we have areas to find support at 297. If not, maybe 291 at the lowest, but I doubt that you get there. At this point in time, I'm not necessarily expecting that we go below $3, but it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't panic, and you definitely should not panic if we do go below $3. Who cares? Dips are for buying right now, not for selling. 4-hour RSI is oversold. That's the most oversold that you've been since when? I wonder. Right here. Since the low, before you pumped massively, right? You remember that low back on June 22nd when you were at $1.90? Yeah. Yeah, here we are a whole month later. I wonder what's going to happen in the next month, right? Right? You hear me? You feel me? We're at the same levels where we were at the low. Enough said. Enough said. Same levels in the RSI in this indicator. Obviously not on the price. Okay. And it's the relative strength index, right? This is the relative strength index. So this, right, this low, and the moves that that transpired afterwards were relative to the movements that you saw before. These movements have been bigger, right? Relative strength index. This low, the movement that you see, the recourse to the upside that you get from this will be even more bullish than this was. You're going to move up even more over the next month than you did over the last month. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. If we're looking at the daily time frame, my expectation would be, again, that we move down a little bit. I don't think that we'll close today red, but if we do, cool off a little bit more. You're probably going to close the day green, set yourself up for a bounce off the 60 and then continue up to new all-time highs. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, and perhaps not even by the end of this week, of which we have about 4 days left, right? Maybe it's the last 4 days of this month that you begin pumping again to new all-time highs. But XRP moves up faster than expected, so don't be surprised if and when we do see prices that are at $4.16, $5.38, $6.57, $7.12, and inevitably all the way up to the money zone at $13.82 to $16.37. That's the target area, you guys. That's where we're going. Minimum target, $11.32. But this is the target zone. That's the box of hopes and dreams and promises, riches and glory. It's the riches and glory box. Hit the like button, subscribe, hold, buy more, and you too will be a part of this massive train that goes nonstop, choo-choo, all the way up to about $14 or more. I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button. Thank you all. Bye-bye.